Hi everyone, my name is Savannah and I'm doing my project with Isabel. We decided to pick red snapper as our species of fish because red snapper is such an important commercial and recreational fishery. And red snapper is a species that is heavily managed, and we felt that we could get a good look into the details that go into managing a species by studying such a controversial fish such as the red snapper.
Hi, my name is Isabel Boyle and I'm doing my project with Savannah Perry. We're doing it on red snapper and our targeted audience is high school upperclassmen, juniors, seniors, and we chose to do a PowerPoint because it lets the audience see the information while it is being presented. It lets you see pictures, and we feel like it's overall very informational. So enjoy. Distribution. Red snapper are found in the western Atlantic from Massachusetts to Brazil. However, they are rarely found north of the Carolinas. Red snapper are most common in the northern Gulf of Mexico. And when the water gets cold in the winter, red snapper will move offshore to find warmer water. Juvenile red snapper prefer a water temperature of 24 to 26 degrees Celsius. Habitat. Juvenile red snapper are found on sandy or muddy bottoms where there is adequate food, such as shellfish, while adult red snapper are found on deep reefs, banks, or rocky bottoms. They can inhabit a depth range of 33 to 620 feet, and larger red snapper that are over 10 pounds also seem to prefer little to no structure on the bottom and tend to be found deeper where it is cooler. As juveniles get older, they move to ledges, rocky areas, or wrecks for cover. The biology of red snapper includes long pectoral fins that span to the anus, a truncate caudal fin, a large head with small red eyes, a body that is red and lightens to white on the belly, and red snapper under 14 inches have a black spot under their dorsal fin on the back half of their body, also known as a false eye. On average, red snapper can grow to 24 inches, but they can reach a max of 39 inches and 20 pounds. They can grow up to 4 inches per year until the age of 6 when growth starts to level off. They were originally thought to be territorial until a study in the 1990s showed that only 26% of 3,000 tagged red snapper were caught in the same spot.
All red snapper are carnivorous. The juveniles mainly eat zooplankton. As the juveniles get older, they eat shrimp, squid, and octopus. The adult red snapper eats small fish, crustaceans, and mollusks found around the reefs where they live and forage. Their diets mainly consist of pipefish, snake eels, sea robins, pinfish, and cusk eels. Their diet changes from season to season, however, with crab being eaten in the spring and stomatopods eaten in the winter. The red snapper reach sexual maturity after 2 years. They are oviparous, which means the eggs hatch outside the mother. They spawn on flat sandy bottoms in about 60 to 120 feet of water. The spawn lasts from late June to August in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, and off of southwestern Florida, the spawn lasts from August to September. One red snapper can spawn several times in one season. The eggs float on the surface, and they are at the mercy of the currents. They hatch about 20 to 27 hours after fertilization. After 20 days, the larvae go from being planktonic to settling out on areas with protection. Large fish can produce up to 2 million eggs per spawn. Red snapper have been harvested from the Gulf of Mexico beginning around the 1840s. The fishery got its start around Pensacola, but was limited to the area around the port until ice became widely available to keep the fish fresh for longer trips. The first indication of a declining stock was in the late 1800s, when people had to travel longer distances just to catch the same fish. By the early 1900s, over 7 million pounds had been harvested commercially in the U.S. In the 1930s and 40s, fishing in the western Gulf of Mexico increased as new habitats were found, such as rocky ledges and reefs. After World War II, technological innovations like fathometers, reels, and wire fishing line resulted in an increase in red snapper catches in the Gulf. An increase in shrimp trawling has caused an increase in red snapper mortality because a lot of the juveniles are caught in trawls as bycatch. After 1950, recreational landings went from less than 500,000 pounds to over 5 million pounds in the late 1990s. In the late 1980s, NOAA Fisheries and the Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council implemented a season, an annual bag limit, a size limit, and restricted the number of licenses issued. Both commercial and recreational anglers typically use hook and line. In present day, recreational angling accounts for more than half of the Gulf red snapper catches. In an effort to end overfishing, recreational and commercial catch limits were lowered from 9.12 million pounds in 2006 to 5 million pounds in 2008. In 2016, commercial vessels caught 6.5 million pounds in the Gulf of Mexico.